So we're going to go live today. Preparing to live stream. Yes. Okay. So, hi, we're live on my Facebook page on the Global Butterfly, and I'm here. I'm Katie Joy. I'm the Global Butterfly, and I'm all about transforming lives with love. And I'm really super excited because not only am I here to just share a little bit about a free training that I'm sharing next week that you can jump on board, ladies, but I've got some very special guests with me live today. As you can see upstairs, up there in the top panel, I've got a lot of beautiful women who just are so excited to come on this journey again, but also to invite you to come on the journey, whether you're a friend or perhaps you've watched in the past, or perhaps that you're really excited about stepping forward and making a great change for this next coming year, and maybe designing the most compelling, awesome year for yourself. Now, the 5-day training that I'm going to be offering is an Align to Design program, and it's for women to be able to come back to coming to know your authentic self so you can create from that space. I have my own story around how I have come to being in this place to be able to share these strategies. And I will share that, but I'm actually, for the use of time, I'm just going to invite some of our very special guests first to step in and share their experiences. But just before I do that, the 5-day training, it's different than what I've ever done before in the past. In the past, I use a Zoom room like this inside of a Facebook group. So you get to connect with the community and bond extremely quickly. And we will be doing that moving forward, but it's nearly Christmas, and I'm very aware that a lot of people are in different time zones, as are many of my panelists here. You can see Eugenie Verdi on the screen. We're live. Eugenie, wave Eugenie up there. Woohoo! She's in and then there's Helen. So Eugenie's from the UK. Helen's here, is in Perth. Nadine's in Byron Bay. Robin's in Perth. Sonia is now in Florida. She's got a great kicker story about how she manifested that. And we've got I can see Kathy. Kathy's in Spain. Hi, Kathy. And Leanne. Leanne is also in Margaret River. And have I captured everybody here so far? I think I grabbed everybody so far. So I just wanted to connect and say hi and let you know that in this 5-day program, you get access to the Manifesting Circle, which is a really exciting new space that we're creating as a continuity space as well, beyond the 5-day training. So the 5 days, because it's kind of a crazy time of year and everyone's in different time zones and everyone wants this information, I've set it up so that it's going to deliver to your inbox every single day. But you need to be registered to be able to get that and all the goodies that come with it. So if you haven't registered yet, at the top of this page, click the sign up now, and ladies, and connect with us, and then you'll go through the process. You'll get an instant gift from me in your inbox. You'll get access to the Manifesting Circle, and you'll get access to the training, which kicks off on Monday. In addition to a mini lesson and an exercise delivered to your inbox each day next week, I will go live on Facebook so you can get some extra content and maybe ask some questions and just connect with the inner circle. So really excited. Now I know that Eugenie, it's what, midnight for you. I'm just going to unmute you and I'm going to bring you forward. Hi.
Hi.
Would you like to share your journey, where you've been with me, where you started? Now I know you've kind of popped in a little late before we went live, like when we all jumped on as panelists. I've restructured my program, so don't mention the dates or length of times of those programs. just say I've started whatever programs with you. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I've worked with Katie on and off. I guess it must have spanned about a year, I think, on various programs. And to be honest, I can't actually remember all the different names and stuff. But it's an amazing journey. When you embark on any of Katie's courses, you end up somewhere where you really had no idea you were going to go. She has an amazing ability to home in on the things that are tripping you up and the things that are holding you back, and really just cutting through all the bullshit and calling you out. Sometimes it's not always that easy, but I tell you, it's really, really rewarding. And yeah, I mean, I'll put my hands up and say I haven't actually implemented everything that I learned with Katie, but I'll get there, and definitely made some amazing shifts just as a result of working with her.
Awesome. And you've made those amazing shifts with just implementing the pieces that you do. Even if you implement one key piece, which, you know, as in like the basic training that I give for the free training next week, when you implement those small little 1 degree steps, then they change the whole trajectory of the course of your life, and they really shift you enormously. So would you say that's true, Eugenie?
Yeah, and you know, it may take some time for some of it to percolate through. I mean, by coincidence, I had a sort of breakthrough this week, and I think, you know, I can trace some of that back to what we were doing 18 months ago, and I'm thinking, oh, that's what she meant. Okay, fine. So yeah, it's really powerful stuff, and it's also a lot of fun, because as you can see, Katie is just absolutely full of energy, and just a bunch of fun to be around, really.
Awesome. I thought for a second there you said not fun. I'm like, really? But you said a lot of fun. Yeah? Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Eugenie. I really appreciate it. I know that you're, whenever you've been on these programs, you have always shown up. And it's, you know, for you in the UK, it's often past midnight when we do the live calls. And sometimes the live calls, because the work that I do when I work with my ladies in my fully paid programs is we go deep into interactive energy transformation work. I'm an awakened empath. I've been through some deep wounds in my life, and I can express and explain a lot more of that as we move through the training. But with coming back to my own center, using the exact tools and strategies that I teach other ladies, I've come right back to my truth, and I'm right in my gifts. And one of my awesome gifts is that my ability to see, hear, feel, know energy, and master that, and be able to go to the core of root beliefs with people very quickly, to be able to create some shift with that, so that it's available to be able to create, well, I call shifting that to share your story, you know, a powerful story. So just really grateful for you showing up, Eugenie, and is it worth coming up on the live calls, you know, whatever time zone you're in?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
Magic happens. Awesome. Eugenie, thank you for your share. That's really awesome. Kathy Hector, may I call upon you next? Because I know you're in Spain. Hi, Kathy. I'm unmuting you. Hi.
Hi.
Kathy, you're in Spain. Where in Spain are you? Just, you know, tell us a little bit about you. And how did you come upon the programs, and what's your journey been like?
I'm in the south of Spain, but inland, so up in almost in the mountains. And I was looking for, I was stuck and not in a very nice place, and it was a bit shitty and dark and stuff like that. And then it was just one of those things that you just kind of popped up on my feed, and I just knew it was the right thing. So I joined your program, and it was good from the word go. It was brilliant, and it was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. And everything is always the right time. Yeah. So the titles of your individual calls are the titles, and that's what you think you're going to get. And then you start on the call, and it doesn't always stay directly on that line, and often it will go off depending on what's going on that night, day, morning, and who's in the group. But that's when the snippets of the real key stuff happens. You know, it's a bit like, you know, when you go to a seminar, and often what you learn is with the people the chats that happen in the toilets or in the corridors, the key things. It's a bit like that. So it's never what you expect, and whatever you expect, it's always more, better, and it's brilliant. It's really, really good. So yeah, I was stuck, worked through, and you reach your own personal plateaus, I've found, and then you just work with that and keep going. Yeah, it's been. There was something else I was going to say, and I've forgotten it. It's gone. Your ability to pick up things. I did a couple of balance calls with you, and in just a few minutes, you just detected, or whatever it is that you do, a particular imbalance that I had straight away. Yeah, that was really great.
Awesome. And thank you for bringing that up, because it is a critical element about the whole process.
Yeah.
What makes it very, very unique and unlike any experience anyone's had. And you can't describe in words what this experience is, because most people are programmed to believe that they have to sit with their stuff, they have to talk it through, they have to do all this hard work. And it's like, I'm like, and what I demonstrate is I can literally help you shift even decades worth of programming in minutes. And you've had some extraordinary experiences with that, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Yeah. I can't even think of it. There's been a few. And sometimes afterwards, at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. And I can feel the problem or the challenge being solved. 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, I have no idea what happened, but it's the shifts happened and I've moved on.
Exactly.
One thing I want to mention, you mentioned about live calls and replays. I've found there's benefits of both. Being on the live calls, if you can get on the live calls, I would highly, highly recommend it. One, it's fun, like the lady before just said, and two, the energy. I had some massive shifts always before the live calls. I would feel a bit off, a bit queasy, and I know it's because the energy that was collecting with everybody that was about to get on the call, but also the benefit of watching the replays after, because you can stop it and you can take notes and you can pick up things. I often will listen to the replays a couple of times, and you pick up things that you may have missed because you're so in the moment on the live calls. So I'd say do both if you can.
Awesome, thank you. And it's a bit like, and again, even these live calls that we do in the programs, they're unlike anything you've ever done before. I mean, I call it like, I make it available so it's like a seminar online, but it's not a seminar, it's a sacred circle. And inside the sacred circle, we set the intention and I work with the energy of the group. So it's every time we do it, it's a new experience because it's working with the dynamic energy in the live group. And I also invite the energy of the collective of those that are registered. So everybody, whether even if you can't make to the live calls, you still get involved. And I go through explaining the process of this a little bit more, because everything is energy. And I explain this as part of the program so you'll understand it, because it might sound, if you're new to this, like, what? Or a bit woo-woo. In fact, Kathy, how did you feel about it in the very beginning? I mean, what was your thought? Like, what?
I wouldn't have said woo-woo, because I've worked with a lot of other personal development people that would be, you consider, high up in their field in terms of, how much it costs to work with them. But this was more personal. This was more in depth. This was much more fine-tuned and the tiny things. And it was, you have a tendency to, I wouldn't say go off at a tangent as such, but just follow the thread. You follow the thread, and that, I think that is the thing, one of the things that's unique about you, these threads that often you will follow. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're like, well, how did I end up here? What was I asking? What was I saying? But that is amazing. Those threads, I've learned some of my key learnings during that time,
exactly.
During those times.
Awesome, thank you. And that's just being fully present and using the energy of the group and giving the group exactly what it needs. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. That's awesome. And thank you for coming live with us all the way from Spain. That's fantastic.
That's okay.
Awesome. Let's go to another part of the world here now. We've got Sonia Springer. Are you available to chat with us, Sonia, right now? Yeah, I'm just going to unmute you there. Hi, Sonia.
Hey. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. And I'm all the better for seeing you here live. You're just the most amazing energy and spirit. And like, your story inspires me so much. And it's slightly different as well. Like you, a lot of people who come to the program were like me in the beginning, very like, oh my God, I needed to reorganize my life in a way because I was in so much pain and I was stuck. And then I worked my way through it using what I teach. But you weren't really in pain or stuck. You were actually in a really enriching life. And how did it go from there? How did you get involved with me and my programs? And what's your journey been like? And tell us about some of the things you've manifested.
It's been very interesting. I've been in numerous of your programs over the past 13 months. It's hard to believe it's actually been 13 months since I met you, and my life completely changed. But it all started, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just having a casual conversation about things that most people don't talk about. And I was intrigued, and she said, you need to look into Katie Joy. I think you'd really enjoy participating in her programs. And based on her recommendation, that's when our relationship began. And I, like you had mentioned, my life was pretty freaking amazing. More amazing than most, probably better than I've ever thought I would ever deserve in my whole entire life. But now I realize I do deserve every little bit of it. So, everyone around me was really incredible. The problem was really, it was me. That was the challenge. So, I just didn't know I'd done everything that I knew to do. And I just didn't know what else to do. And when I crossed your path, it was like, okay, God sent you to me, or me to you, or however you want to say it, because you helped me work on those things that made such a huge difference. So to talk about healthy boundaries was a big one for me, and not just other people, but myself, most importantly myself, because I was beating myself up 24 hours a day internally. No one, if you didn't know me, or a lot of the people that knew me didn't even realize how bad I treated myself. So that was a key thing that I worked on in every single one of your programs that impacted everything else in my life. The relationships that I had with people at work, where they weren't necessarily going the way that, they should be going, because I wasn't maintaining healthy boundaries, and just taking everything so personal. And working with you helped me work on that and make my life so much better. So, that was the whole reason I went into the program. But while we were in the program, and one of the programs we were doing was goal setting, and it was kind of a struggle, and it's pretty cool. Take imperfect action is a big thing that you talk about. Don't just wait and have it all nice and tidied up and ready to go. It's going to change a few times, and that's okay, but you have to have a starting point, and you have to make a decision. It doesn't have to stay that way. And mine ended up being, I wanted to live in Florida. I wanted to be near the beach. I wanted to be in the weather year round, where it was nice, that I could be outside and enjoy it, because it's just where we really have so much fun. It's just so enriching. And initially it was a 5-year plan when we started that. And I imagine that was probably in December when we set that goal. In May, which is 5 months later, it turned into a 3-month goal. So it went from a 5-year goal in a span of 6 months to a 3-month goal. So we actually moved from Virginia to Florida the end of August. So it worked out that I came to Florida we just came to look, and checked out the local office here where we are now. And they didn't want to wait 2 or 5 years. They said, well, we need you now. How's now? So, everything really fell into place. And that sounds really awesome, but it's a little stressful, because then you start worrying about, okay, I gotta sell my house, and I gotta pack everything up, and then I gotta move across 5 states, and my husband has to have a job, and what am I gonna do? And oh my God, all these details. And Katie's like, whoa, let go of the how. It'll all work out. And it did. It all worked out, and we are having so much fun. It's just so many things that have changed my life in the last 13 months because of the work that Katie and I have done together, along with the community of the ladies, because I can't discount that, because it's really important. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. And again, what would you share about the balance calls? Because of the nature of this coming week as well, I've only got 10 spots available for someone to jump in on a balance call experience with me, which for those 10, I've discounted it by 66%, which is crazy, right? But what would you say to somebody who maybe has never experienced it, but they've got some stuff to shift, they're not clear about what their goals are, maybe they're not clear about who they are, they've lost their sense of self and identity, because they've just overcared about everybody else for way too long. What would you say to somebody who might, register and look at that and...
I'd say do it now. Do it now. It's really important. And it's like Katie was saying earlier, it's really hard to understand the value of what it brings. But if you've never experienced anything like it, there's nothing that I can say that will give you a comparison, except for trust me and do it. You won't regret it. It's very, very, very critical component of every program that I've done with Katie. And I can't imagine doing the program without doing the balance calls, because it made that much of a difference.
Awesome. Thank you. And it's a very tailored experience to be able to go in and just unlock some of that stuck energy at a cellular level. And it's in your body and in your mind and in your energy field that maybe has been there and trapped for a long time. And usually a very, very long time. And again, I explain all that through the program. So when I go in and I do a balance, I work in what is specific to you at that time, at what layer needs to be removed, but at the core level. I used to be a paramedic. I worked for the St John Ambulance Western Australia, and I worked for them for nearly 8 years. And as a paramedic, I'd go out to calls for anyone that we'd go to that needed our attention. And every single time I'm going to somebody who has a symptom. And what happens is that when people come to me in the energetic critical care factor, they're coming to me with their symptoms. So the pain is what is going to show up the most. And it's where often you think that that's your core problem, and so you keep going to that space trying to fix that core problem. But what I do is I go in and I look for the core root problem, which when we deal with that, the symptoms spontaneously resolve. So that's what I can sort of share the benefit of a Nadine. I've got you. Can you mute yourself, please? The benefit of the balance call is particularly that it will allow you to shift stuff at a core level that you aren't necessarily aware of because you keep feeling the pain of the symptom. So awesome. Thank you, Sonia, for that share. Really super appreciate it. And I just adore you. You're just a blessing to the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Robin Scatella, let's bring it back to another point of the planet. We have ladies from all over the world that's in our community and in our programs. Robin, you're in Perth, Western Australia. Tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got introduced to the program, and what your journey has been, and tell us a bit about what you've been manifesting since, because it's pretty cool for you too.
Helen Povey recommended me to the program, and yeah, the things that you taught allowed me to do was to find out who I was, what it was that I wanted, by doing the work that you set for us. And I was like Kathy, where I would go on the live calls, but I also would listen to the replays and take down notes. But then what I was finding is that I wasn't always taking the action. And like Sonia said, taking the imperfect action, and that's what really had the big shifts for me, was really taking action instead of just learning it all the time. But the key learnings were important. And the boundaries, again, the same for me was, like Sonia, I would always be, in my head. And once you learn that, to change the words in your head, like huge speeches. So really, I think the key thing was for me was to learn who I was, about who I was, what it was that I wanted, and set in motion what it was that I wanted. And yeah, and through your one-on-one balance course, it also helped open up a lot of things that were blocking the things that I wanted. And yeah, like my goals that I set when we did the Massive Momentum program, I set some goals, and yeah, I've achieved one goal. That was supposed to be for December 2018. I achieved that goal in October. And yeah, I mean, it's surpassing that now. And my goal was also about my business. And yeah, since I've kind of relaxed that a bit, you know, I was really trying, and since I've relaxed that a bit and gone along with some of your key learnings, yes, people are just coming to me, and work just came to me, and it just opened up so many doors. It's just amazing. It's like this two big walls that were stopping, and they've just all crumbled down. So yeah.
That's what happens when you get into alignment, right? And like when you get into alignment and you're in that flow, you're raising your frequency and your ability to see the resources that are available to you, but you also become more attractive, and you're able to match that frequency of what is showing up, so you can go, oh my gosh, and you can, and it's also going through the skill set of practicing to receive, which is pretty challenging for most women. Going through that whole process of re-getting you connected to receiving. Awesome, thank you. And what would you say, Robin, to anyone that any soul sister, because this is for women only, and one of the great things, by the way, is that because it is a women's only circle, it creates an extra sacred, safe, private space to go through a lot of the healing that's required at certain levels without having the fear of judgment, for one. There's a lot of unconditional love in the group and a lot of support, but it's also, there's something really special about being in the feminine embrace of the power of the woman, of the feminine energy, as we all wake that up and come back into being in alignment with your own intuition and connecting with what it is that is your strongest core values and goals for your life. Is that true, ladies? If that's true for you, can you just raise your hands? You know, just so we've got a visual there. Excellent. That's all the ladies. Fantastic. I really appreciate that. Helen Povey, you're in the dark there. I was just wondering if you're available, since Robin's just gone and connected you. I don't know if you are, if you're off video, but Leanne Herments, are you available? Yeah. Robin, I want to say massive thank you. Really appreciate you so much, and really excited to have you back on board. And by the way, just remember that if there's anyone, that a soul sister that you would love to share this free training program with, tag them into the Facebook live feed, add them to that, invite them with the link to register. You need to register to get access to the private group. And you also, when you register, you'll also get access to all the amazing awesomeness. Leanne, I'm going to bring you on, and then Nadine, are you available after Leanne? I think Nadine's video is really slow. So let's just go with Leanne first. Leanne, hi, I've got you on board. Introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and tell us, share with us how you got involved and what your experience is so far.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'm Leanne, and I live in the southwest of Western Australia, just out of Yallingup, which is in the Margaret River region. I came on board with Katie's programs only this year. Must have been around about July, I think, Katie. I can't remember now. Yeah, I was introduced through a friend of mine, a work friend of mine, Galinda, and yeah, it sort of coincided. I remember I was, as you do, you're driving along and you think of all sorts of things. And I remember I was driving one morning and I thought, I really need to get my shit together. So, and not that I was going through anything very stressful in life, you know, I've got a good job, but just busy and therefore not taking any time for myself, and obviously, you know, suppressing, I suppose, the creativity that I'd like to sort of be more into, and have thought about all of these sort of different ideas and very scattered. So yeah, I really felt like I needed to get my shit together and start to get things happening. So, and it was when I thought that was only probably less than 24 hours later that Galinda mentioned Katie's courses, and that there was another one about to start. So obviously I was putting it out there into the universe somehow, and that's how I ended up there. So I feel like I'm one of the beginners still. So, but I have just about completed one of Katie's courses, a Massive Momentum Mentoring. And what that has enabled me to do is to start to get my shit together. Katie's very intuitive, and yeah, really helped me to identify what those blockages were that were stopping me, you know, getting more fulfillment in my life and going for some of those personal goals. And yeah, so now being able to recognise that, and also being able to build more resilience too. So you certainly do build a lot more resilience to all of those outside factors. And I think one of the other girls mentioned the bullshit. You recognise that and you don't take it on board. So that is a really big plus, I think. And it doesn't matter, you know, how positive a person you are. I think we still all take some of those elements on board, or outside influences as well. So the other concern that I had before starting Katie's course was because I was going to be away for 3 weeks at the beginning of the Massive Momentum. It's such a mouthful, Katie. Massive Momentum Mentoring. Yeah. But I mean, as it was, I had 3 weeks in Bali at the beginning of that course, which was quite a critical part of it. But look, if you've got a laptop or a smartphone, you know, you can pretty much join that anywhere. And as the other girls have mentioned, if you do miss the live calls, and they are really awesome, then you can always catch up on the replays. So, and look, some of the places that I was in Bali when I was joining in this course, you know, I think one lesson I did while I was sitting in the pool, in the pool in the morning. So yeah, look, you can join in anywhere, and as we can see today from the panel, I mean, there's girls from all over the world. So, but the live calls are great. You get to know other people. You can see that you're not on your own in some of the things that you're working through yourself, and yeah, you just get that reinforcement from everyone. And Katie there at the lead.
Thank you so much, Leanne. And like you mentioned so many amazing things that really appreciate your share. One of the big things that you mentioned, and I just want to state for the record too for this live call, the 5-day training, it's like a little cocktail party. You get to come in and you get to taste a piece. It's not going to be shoved a whole heap of stuff down your throat. In the beginning, when I started, the ladies were amazing. They're hanging on for a wild ride where I took them on an 8-day immersion. That program, every one of my clients, I said, Katie, this is worth like $3,000 to $5,000. Like, I mean, I'd pay that for the ticket. And so it's now a separate program, which I'll invite you to understand as it's integrated with a blend of, I've reformatted 2018. So it's I'll tell you more about that process at the end of the 5-day training. If you're one of the people that would love to continue the journey, and if you don't necessarily want to continue the journey with me, or maybe just not yet, that's okay too. You can still have enormous value about being in the 5-day training. So make sure you register for that, and you can be part of that community, part of that experience, and you can get some great shifts ready for yourself to step into a most magnificent 2018. You know, what would happen if you could just get clear about what you want? You know, what you want to create. I mean, from that point, you now have a new direction about what to take, at least your first next best step. So it's my gift, my paying it forward. I'm really excited to be able to build up the consciousness rising, particularly in women, and give women the opportunity to be able to really truly shine their light and step up to being their most best, most magnificent, most awesome, freaking fabulous selves, which I just love. So, and Leanne, you mentioned there very particularly that, like you said, that a lot of the strategies and the tools that I teach you is to help you position yourself so you can stand in your authenticity, stand in your authentic light, and not be so wobbled by people in the world around us. And that's, that's a big set of skills that a lot of women are missing on how to go through that process. So that is something I do very much teach. And in this program, I introduce some of those concepts in the 5-day program that is the free training. So, and then there's more to explore in further programs if that's something that really tickles your fancy and you'd love to access that and have more. The other thing that you were talking about is, I think, what was the last thing you said? We were talking about being on the live calls versus so that you're being part of that community. And one of the things I always like to remind my ladies and share is that because we're all everything we do, we're operating based on programs. We have been conditioned by programs since the day we were born. In fact, before we were born. And that's now, I don't want to go into the full teaching mode, but the thing is, when we often believe that what our world is the same world for everybody else's world. And it's not that way at all. And we also often quite believe that, you know, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our beliefs, that they're ours. And then they get locked in as part of an identity. Whereas the truth is there's no copyright to them. They're all universal. And I help take you through a process of fundamentally understanding and breaking down some of those false beliefs that have kept you in your own prison. And so I'm giving you the key to unlock yourself and set yourself free. And that's probably one of the most awesome elements about the whole program. Would you agree, ladies? Just raise your hands so we can have a bit of a visual. That's awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your share. Really appreciate that. One of my patterns is the yes, yes. So I really appreciate that. Some of the new people would like, what's she doing? Marcia, are you available, honey? I know you popped up just quickly. I just wanted to see, I'm not sure. I've got you in the dark there. I'm just going to chat until if either Marcia or Helen, if you're available. If not, that's okay. Ladies, I want to say thank you. Don't leave yet if you don't have to. I just want to share that in this a reminder that if you've got some beautiful soul sisters that have watched you on your journey, if you're watching on the Facebook Live and you've also been in the part of the program, and you know that you've got soul sisters who are like, what has happened to you? You've changed so much. You're doing crazy things. I really wanted to be able to connect with there's Marcia. Marcia, are you available? She's on the phone. She looks like she's on the phone. Another lady that I really would like to connect with the story is Nadine Schaefer, and maybe I'll do that privately. Oh, Helen's here. Hang on. Helen, Marcia.
I'm here, Katie. I'm here. Sorry, I was just pulling over.
Awesome. Marcia and then Helen. So Marcia, thank you so much. And Helen, thank you so much. Talk about massive energy balls for these two ladies. So Marcia, you've been right on the journey with me, like at conception.
Yes.
And again, be mindful, ladies, this is Facebook Live, it's public, so please remember that. And just share a little bit about you, your journey, and how you've become part of the being involved in these programs and what it's done for you and why you would recommend it for anyone else.
Yep, cool. Okay, so I'm going to try to like condense what I would take like probably 45 minutes to say to like 2 minutes. So Katie and I, we actually met at a property conference. So we were, you know, really into our development and stuff at the time. So I kind of looked at her as a peer of mine. So when she was going through a really challenging time in her life, and you know, as her friend, I just wanted to be really supportive of her, and honestly, like the challenges in her life at the time, I couldn't even begin to fathom how anyone was going to deal with them. But her and I, we went for hot cakes at our favorite restaurant, and she starts telling me this idea that she wants to inspire women and that she doesn't want women to go through what she's gone through, and she's going to develop this program that's going to empower women, help them to be financially free and step into their power. And I was, of course, very supportive of her, but I honestly thought she was crazy because you have all these things happening in your life, and like maybe you should just focus. I didn't tell her this, but in my mind but she just like, and I kind of thought she wasn't going to do it. And then the next week she's sending out her invites, and I was like, oh my God, she's actually doing it. I actually didn't jump on the first time, but my sister did. And then my sister, am I still on?
Yes.
Am I still going? Okay. And then my sister did it.
Oh, she just fell off. Where did she go? I'm not really sure where she went, but maybe she'll come back in a second. She's probably, let me just send her a message. Oh, you're there. Yeah.
I'm here. I'm not sure. I think someone was trying to call me, so I didn't realize it was gone.
So it's bumped you off.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I don't know where I was at, but my sister had experienced so much in the free program, and she wanted to do the next level program, but she didn't have the money. And so I was like, look, I'm so impressed by how much change I've seen in you in the free level program. Like, I'm just going to pay for you to do this program, because I feel like it was an investment for our whole family, for her to be feeling really amazing. She was a new mom, and she just got so much value from it. So then I jumped on the next one, and then I did the next level program, and then the next level program. And basically I've been, a friend and client of Katie's, like literally from the very beginning, from her first programs that she ever did. And the growth that I've seen in myself, like I'm really proud of myself, to be honest, because, I've been able to do a lot of awesome things that on the surface look really cool, but below that, on an emotional level, I've had a lot of stuff happening in my life that, I think for a lot of people would be like, oh my God, this is like horrendous. But because I've been able to focus and what Katie will show you, says bring it all back to you and putting yourself first, and self-care, which is like the number one thing. Because I've been able to do that so consistently through her programs for the last, I don't know, oh my God, it's been almost 2 years. I can't remember how long, like from the beginning, that I'm able to handle these things, and I can still feel really good about life, and I can still move forward with my business, and I can still feel just amazing about everything, regardless of what's going on around me. So that's one of the things I think is most powerful. I've also done Katie's business training and all of that. But from the beginning, like if you're more new to her circle, I think this is a new program, so I'm quite excited about that. And honestly, like, you just can't go wrong doing one of her programs. Like, I have gained so much from her work. It's been really amazing. I can do specifics, Katie, but I wanted to say, like, generally speaking, like just how much I've grown as a person, and then also the things that I've been able to achieve for my business has been amazing too.
Yeah, watching you explode with what you're doing and taking on a lot of the concepts. And one of the things that I teach, one of the concepts I teach, like every woman is in business, but the first business that she is in herself. It's called You Inc. It's the energy of you. And when you get your energy in alignment, then you can go into business. If you try and do a business without being in alignment, it is painful, right? Painful. There's already a steep learning curves when you when you set up a business and you're going through all that massive growth. There's already some stretch factor, the whole transformation factor included there. And if you haven't got the skill sets that I teach throughout this program, then you're in for a really tough, rough ride and a lot of sabotage patterns and struggle. And the truth is that when you are in alignment, there's still some elements of struggle. It's like when, the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't fly, it has to go through in the cocoon, go through a transformative process to be able to then spread its wings and fly. It needs to go through an incredible, dark, mishy-mashy, transformative experience to be able to then step through. So that you got to get that. And a lot of women resist that as soon as it comes up, thinking that something's going wrong, or they don't understand that there's a lot of other key elements involved in transformation. And when you have these understandings along with the strategies and tools, it makes the journey a whole lot more fun and almost bring it on. It's like really exciting and for the opportunity. Would you say that's true? That is on the panel, just raise your hands if that experience is true for you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Marcia, I really appreciate your sharing, honey, and it's been fun having you on board day one. We must catch up a hotcakes again soon someday. Helen Povey, are you available?
I am. Hi.
Hi, share.
Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Well, I want to talk to all the ladies out there in Facebook land that might be considering doing this. And when I met Katie first in 2008. And just through staying connected on Facebook. And then when I saw her launch this program, I got so freaking excited. But I was in a shit place. So shit. My husband and I had lost everything. We were living in a new town in Bunbury. I couldn't get a job. things couldn't have got worse. I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed. I felt a woman in her 50s that my life was effed. And I just didn't really know what the hell to do with myself. And I'm a very strong personality, and I've got a lot of courage, but I was dysfunctionally independent, and I was stuck in a story, and I was stuck in a pattern. And that's probably one of the biggest things, is our stories that we tell ourselves and the stories that we tell the people around us. And quite often they're just freaking excuses to be stuck in the patterns that we're in and behave the way that we behave. So you can't come into this group and tell a story that's going to shock us, or tell a story that hasn't been heard. All these women and their beautiful faces, and they're gorgeous, and that's the thing you're going to connect with too, is you're going to make so many new friends, and you're going to see us laugh, you're going to see us cry, you're going to see us upset, angry, in all sorts of emotional roller coasters. But the best thing that Katie will do to you is empower you to be the best version of yourself. And that's who you want to be. You don't have to be like Katie, you don't have to be like me or Marcia or Sonia. You just need to be you. And when you learn who you are and start living in your truth, your whole world's going to change. Your whole energy is going to change. And you know what? I trip up all the time, but you know what? I don't get stuck in story anymore. I changed my words. I changed my life. And when I listen to other women, and I meet people all the time, I sell real estate now. I had to reinvent myself into a totally new career, which I freaking love. And, you know, that was a bonus. I left my husband. I've moved house. What I've done in a year has been absolutely phenomenal, but just so soul-soothing as well. And, yeah, and it's just to be the best version of yourself. And Katie is like the petrol that she puts into your vehicle. So she doesn't do it for you, but she helps you do it yourself. It's not your normal, you know, positive thinking course. It's not like that. It's about, you know, choosing your problems, choosing how you show up in your life, and committing. And if you don't get it right one day, well, then get in and show up the next day, and just keep trying. And the more we practice that, and the more we bring that into our daily lives, well, it's just the better that we become. And then we start attracting other women who want to jump on our witches broom as well. And they think, you know, I want to join this group. I want to be a part of this team, because, you know, we need to connect with our village. We need to connect with our soul sisters. We need a place where we can be real and raw. And when you do that, like really do it, really, really, really do it, what you'll do is all the shit heads in your life will leave, and in a really nice way, and you can wish them well. I've never gotten on so well with my husband since I left him, and God bless him, he's a great guy. And then all these new people, all the right people that will lift you up and empower you on your journey, will start coming in. You'll attract all the people, all the resources, all the money, everything that you need to do what you need to do will just show up when you set your intentions, have really clear goals, and they can change. God, yeah. Nothing's set in bloody stone, but you get one life, ladies, and live it. And live a life on your terms.
I adore you, Helen. You're just a bundle of energy, and it's just gorgeous. And thank you. And
I'm actually just a bit worried that I just announced my single status to the world. I forgot we're on Facebook Live. Oh well. I ain't changing my Facebook status, so.
Look, thank you so much for that. I just want to have you all on board here at the moment. I know some of you had to go for whatever reason, but I just want to thank you for my panelists who have shared your stories, and they're really important. Just like, is it true that someone else's story was what really woke you up and became that referral point for you to come in and have the courage just to step in, and then once you're in, you're like, oh my God, this place is amazing. Is that true? Raise your hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So look, please feel free to continue to share this opportunity, because it really is a gift that I'm giving to be able to step into the space for the 5-day free training. And if some of you will want to continue that journey, just like these ladies have here. In fact, to be really honest, majority of my ladies that come in want to continue the journey, because they finally find a place that they can call home and feel safe and sacred, and just get really excited. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a playland, and I take you on a magnificent adventure. And there's the depth in the relationships, the benefits of the connection, the benefits of feeling peace, the benefits of feeling safe, the benefits of feeling heard, the benefits of feeling felt, the benefits of feeling and being seen. And so for who you really are, all available in there. Plus, of course, I teach you stuff. But as I always say, I don't teach, I just simply shine a light to remind you what you intuitively know. So I want to just remind you, it's a 5-day training. It's going to be delivered to your inbox so that you receive a mini lesson and an exercise each day with a bonus Facebook Live each day. So if with the Christmas period that like you're like, yeah, I'd love to be part of that, but you can't make every live call, do your best to make the live ones. But if you can't, catch the replay instead, and then catch up on the little mini lesson, which will not be overwhelming. That will just be short and sweet for you on this experience to get you into some position to start off a fantastic new year. So feel free to tag in your soul sisters in the Facebook Live below. Share this live link. If it didn't show up properly, I'll probably put the recording up so you can share this as well. Huge love. Massive, massive love, light, manifesting magic. I'm so grateful for you all, and may you have the most blessed, awesome Christmas. And I'll see many of you inside the manifesting circle this coming week. So register now and share this registration link with all your soul sisters so we can flood that space with the magic of all of us and kick off on Monday morning, 7:30 Australian Western Standard Time with a really awesome power momentum moment to kick off your week. And we'll see you soon. Bye.